What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another one. Thanks for clicking on another one. Greatly appreciate it. But today I just wanted to discuss the history of the STI that I have out in the garage right now. And a lot of people wonder, this kid's in the military, he's not making that much money. How does he afford the truck? How does he afford the car? How does he afford all this stuff? Well, as much as I'd like to say that the car is perfect in every way possible, the truck's perfect in every way possible, it's not. They have their issues. But luckily, I have the paperwork for all this car, and I can go over everything that's happened to it with you guys. So, here's the deal. The car was wrecked at approximately, actually, I can tell you exactly how many miles are on it. Let's see what we got here. Car was wrecked at 72,542 miles. And we don't know what happened to it. So the guy I got it from, it was the owner before him that wrecked it. And it doesn't look like, it looks like he spun it around or something. Like, I'll show you guys the pictures, but it looks like he either went out of control, hit a curb or something, and spun the car around, hit the guardrail a few times. But there's like, it's kind of like all around damage rather than just like a huge front end damage or anything like that. And the airbags never deployed because there wasn't really that strong of a hit. But because the body panels all around it were pretty beat up, all the quarter panels, all like, everything, the pillars I think were hit, or at least like moved. It's all one piece in the back end of that hatch, so if that piece gets damaged, that's a big piece to replace. So they ended up totaling the car, and it appears that Konkin Auto Group is who ended up buying the car and doing most of the rebuild. I'm not 100% sure on that, but based on what I have here in the Carfax and all the pictures and everything like that, it appears that that's who bought the car in Oregon, I believe, and rebuilt it. So with that being said, I believe that everything in the car is original minus some replaced body panels. Based on what I can see on the car and, in these pictures, I'd assume that the doors were replaced, some of the wheels were replaced, maybe like the quarter panel and one of the fenders, maybe. Like, it really doesn't even look that bad. The thing that looks the worst is the rear diff is slanted sideways, but that's kind of an easy fix. The thing I was worried about most was frame damage, but based on all the body lines and all the gaps and how we made sure the car was straight, like, there's no frame damage. We looked inside and out, so super happy about that. And when I show you guys these pictures, you will see in one of them where they show the mileage on the car. These are taken by IAA, which is like a salvage auto auction site. The car's actually running in one of these, so even after the accident, the car still ran, and I don't think it drove because the rear diff was like torqued, but so I mean once they straightened all that out, probably drove just fine. And as of right now, I can't see or tell anything wrong with the car. So other than a few body lines, which we're gonna assess either in this video or in the next video. Let me show you guys some of these pictures that we have on some of these papers, and you guys will get to see everything that I know about it. So I know these might kind of be hard to see. It's a very small picture on a sheet of paper, so try to get the best I can here. But as you can see here, looks like the front bumper's just kind of hanging off. I don't really see much damage to it. Looks like the hood got a little bit beefed right there. And then obviously this whole side of the car is kind of beefed right on the side. The wheel looks screwed here. The rear wheel I can't really tell in this picture. So this picture. And this side of the car doesn't look too bad. Everything kind of looks straight. I mean, obviously other than the front bumper sitting there, like, it doesn't look awful there. So here's the back. As you can tell, rear bumper's just kind of chilling on the ground, so not really sure if that broke or if it's just, off the car. I don't know if you guys can tell, but the rear diff's kind of torqued in this picture. You can kind of tell in this picture. Here you can really tell how, it just ain't right. It's twisted. So they got that straight. Now, obviously, it looks like all the damage is on this side. Doesn't look too bad, but if this piece where the gas cap is, if that got bent, that's all one piece with the top of the car. So that could be a big replacement. It looks like it has a few small dents, but nothing major. So now inside, you can see steering wheel airbag didn't go off. You can't really tell up here on the pillar if that bag went off, but I don't think it did. This airbag didn't go off, so as far as I can tell, it has stock airbags in the car. Here's another picture of this side. Now here, you can tell 72,542 miles, and the car is running right here by the looks of it, so, I mean, obviously I can't tell if that tack is just stuck or if it's running, but I would assume that the car is running for this picture. And then everything inside the car looks pretty clean, so, yeah. So, yeah, there's the pictures. I really don't know much more about the car. I know I'll be the 4th owner, I believe. The first owner had it until like 30,000 miles, and then the second owner wrecked it at 70,000 miles, and then the third owner was the person I got it from. So I'd be the 4th. It doesn't really bother me that much because my plans with this car, it's going to be a complete rebuild anyways. I'm hoping, my plan is that, 2 years down the road from now, it's going to be a completely different car. Once I get done with the interior and exterior, that's what I'm doing first because I'm actually pretty close. I do have wheels for the car. They're at my house already. I'll be doing a reveal on those pretty soon, but I'm waiting on, we're going to end up maybe doing flares or some sort of wide body. Not really sure yet. Just, you have to stay tuned for that, I guess. We're going to be maybe wrapping the whole car. I'm still trying to find a rally wing for the back of it. So if anyone knows where I can find a freaking rally wing that, I don't even care if I get one slightly used. I'm looking for it's either I buy like a Varis one, which is like $1,600, or I buy some cheap eBay one, which I don't really want because I want it to be right and I want the fitment to be fine. So still trying to look for like a middle point that's reliable, reputable. I know Agency Power made one, but they don't make them anymore, so I don't know. Just been looking. So other than that, we got a few more plans for the interior, and then for engine build, that's gonna be after I get done with the exterior and interior. The first thing I plan on doing is a short block, because I'm not just going to slap a fatty turbo on there and then blow up the motor and then be like, well, I just spent all my money on the turbo kit and then, So I think, yeah, I'll just tell you guys all my plans. So we have short block. I want to do like a ETS kit, front mount intercooler, rotated turbo kit, slap a fatty precision on there. These are all just plans down the road I hope to do. Flex fuel kit, fuel system. I'd like to push upwards 700, maybe 800 horsepower, wheel horsepower. Now, I do want to keep it somewhat daily driverable. I don't want it to be like a track-only car. Yeah, I'll probably take it to the track a few times once we start making power. But, track days equal more money days, and that's something we're still working on. So, what I do want, though, is to be able to roll up to a stoplight and have some cocky LS owner come up on either side of me and want to race, and I will blow them out of the frickin' water with my little boxing 4-beater. You know what I'm saying? So those are the plans for the car. I want it to look sick. I want it to make sick power and be a nice, beautiful, fast boy. So to be clear, the car does have a rebuilt title, which doesn't really affect me much. As you can see in the pictures, the damage doesn't look that bad. Doesn't look like it extends further than what you see in those pictures. So obviously I've had the car for, I think over a month now. And I have driven it. I mean, I drove it home from Oregon, which was probably 500 miles-ish. And then probably put another 300 miles on it since I've been home. So it's been running fine. I already did obviously the timing belt kit and everything that I needed to for maintenance. Car's running phenomenal and it's riding phenomenal. So as far as I know, it's not, it's fine. So I just plan to build on it from here, address any other issues that I have with it with you guys, and that way you can follow along with the build, and we're in this together. It'll be my first Subaru engine build, so that'll be really, really cool. I'm actually really looking forward to it. There's a lot of guys over here where I am in Spokane that are huge into this whole Subaru thing, so I'll have some support for sure. Now I'm gonna go back into the topic of the body lines on the car. So obviously one thing I did when we were looking at the car was make sure there was really no frame damage. Make sure all the body lines are kind of intact. Make sure there's no weird looking gaps or anything that might show signs of damaged frame or something like that. And they all look good. There's little things like on the front fenders on those cars, there's like the little piece with like the STI badge on it. One of those the gap seems to be a little off, and then on the hood, the driver's side corner, like near the driver's door, that seems to be higher than the other side. So those are the two body line issues that I've seen on the car, but I think, with a little bit of adjustments, we can fix that. So alright, so if you notice right here on this piece, this gap's pretty even all the way up. Not too bad right there. If you notice on the hood here, it's kind of hard to show the right angle, but it's a little bit raised up. You can see right there. It's a little bit raised up on this side. Come to this side, the side's pretty good. It's pretty flat all the way down. Body line's pretty freaking even all the way down too. But if you look at this piece here, see how this gets pretty close? That's what we got to try to fix. So I think this piece I can just pull out and, try to realign it. Now, like I did mention, there are a few dents. I don't know if you can see. There's a dent like right here. There's also some right here. Yeah, you can probably see those. There's two right here. One here, one here. I'm hoping that if I have a PDR guy come out, he might be able to get those out. They're honestly, they're not crazy huge dents, so should be able to just pop those out. I'm thinking the dent I've showed you guys before that I don't think I'll be able to get out is this one on the hood. It's like a literal cut from a rock, and I don't think it's a dent. It's literally like a cut. So we'll have to figure something out with that. And then I believe this rock chip formed a little bit of a dent as well. So before we wrap the hood, if we wrap the hood, we'll have to figure out how to get these out. Also, this piece I have inside. I took it out when I painted the bumper, so we just got to put that back in. Overall, that's really all that's still structurally wrong with the car. And honestly, it's not even that bad. The body lines, we can probably make them a little bit better, but they don't bother me that much. And the dents, I'm thinking we can pull those out of the pillar. So the only thing I'm really worried about is getting the hood ones out. But if we can't get that out, just throw some body filler in there, and then we'll assess what's going on when we wrap the car. If we wrap the car. Hint, hint. So yeah, that dent's a little bit weird, but we'll figure that out. So we have this piece off, which is just held on by a bunch of little clips, so you kind of just pull it off. These are my mud flap bolts. So now the thing I recognize with this is, since it's only just a bunch of clips, you can't really, place it anywhere but in that one spot. So the gap issue between the door and that piece must either be, the door or the fender. So for right now, I'm just gonna get it back together. We're gonna leave it for now. When it's not so freaking windy outside, I'll come out and mess with it a little bit more. But at the time being, I'll get it as good as I can, clean all this up, and we'll leave it as it was. So I did pull the side skirt off as well, and look at this. Look how much dirt was just piled up in that thing. So I'm kind of happy we pulled that off. I might do the same thing for the other side just to get the dirt out. But yeah, we're gonna clean up this whole area, and then we can put it back in. So I know I said I was gonna leave it, but it was kind of bugging me. So I did loosen up the fender a little bit. I'll show you guys. So essentially loosen up the fender. You got a bolt here, bolt here, bolt here. There is a bolt behind the bumper too, but I didn't loosen that. You have a bolt right there behind the door. You got 2 bolts down here. You got one right here, and then there's one behind this little cover right back in there. Now, I loosened those up and kind of moved the fender around a little bit, and you can see it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than what it was. No tight gaps anymore. So, and then the clips on the back of this, you can kind of move them around a little bit. So I kind of messed with that as well. And I think we're gonna leave it like that because that looks pretty good. So, now on this side, I loosened this one up a little bit too. This is looking pretty good as well. Now the only thing we have to work with is how the hood was a little bit higher, but we can get to that when I get the other side back together. Alright, so we just spent a little bit of time working with the hood. Once again, it's not 100% perfect, but it's a lot better. All I did was I loosened up the risers for the hood, dropped it down a little bit, kind of worked with both sides, and got them as even as possible. It's they're not perfect, but they're pretty freaking level, and the gaps are pretty perfect all the way down. So we'll leave it like that. Now the last thing I'm gonna do is just go ahead, throw this little carbon insert back in. I went and picked up some of that 3M double-sided tape the other day, so we can get that in. Alright, back on. We're good to go. Tip, don't ever buy cheap GoPro batteries because they die in about 5 minutes. So that time lapse cut off. Sorry about that, but yeah, this is good to go. So next time I take those little carbon trim pieces off, I'm just gonna get some thinner 3M double-sided tape because this stuff was a pain in the butt because it was so thick and I had to like cut it a lot, and it took me forever. In the time it took me to get that little carbon piece on, which doesn't even look exactly right now, I could have had the whole motor pulled out of the car. Like that's how long it took me. So yeah, but I mean, other than that, we did the body lines. We got the body lines a lot better today. We got the carbon piece back on. Car's, you know, as complete as I can be at the moment. So I'm going to be completely honest with this whole car build. I'm going to show you the good stuff, the bad stuff, everything about this car. So that's the plan. And yeah, I'm excited to build this thing. Like I said, I got a lot of plans for it, and hopefully with time, a little bit of money, we can make this thing pretty sick. But yeah, it just takes time. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.